Good afternoon and welcome. Today we're here to honor students who have been a major part of Kents Hill's return to something like normalcy. As most of you know, the last couple of years have been very strange. Toward the end of our 2019-2020 school year, we were blindsided by COVID like everyone else and had to shift our entire program online for several months. Last year, 2020 to 2021, we remained in person all year, but we followed a modified schedule. We taught students online and in person simultaneously, and we were able to stay in person because our COVID-related rules were some of the strictest around. This year has felt qualitatively different. Yes, we've continued pool testing. Yes, we've masked indoors for long stretches of time. Yes, we've continued to see students and teachers disappear as they battle and recover from illness. But for all of that, this year has felt much more like the pre-COVID school atmosphere and the school rhythm that I remember. I don't travel in the same circles as Mr. Cheney, but I know that in the last few months, he's spoken to other folks in the boarding school universe, and there's a sense out there that boarding schools are back. That it's clearer now than it was even 3 years ago that our specific combination of academics, athletics, student life, and student support provides an essential alternative to public education, and that even with the lingering impact of COVID, we're delivering that alternative well. And that's basically how I feel about this year. The 2021-2022 school year has been about Kents Hill returning to a position of strength. So I'm really happy to celebrate today's award winners. God knows they deserve it. But I'd also like to regard this afternoon's event as a celebration of Kents Hill itself. It's been a good year. With that, we'll move right into the freshman awards. Nodding to Ms. Tracy and narrating it. And I'm just going to ask that when I read an award winner's name, we all make some noise, make them feel appreciated, and winners, I'd like you to come up at that little staircase over there, go down the stage at this little staircase over here, and just pause for a second right next to the piano so that our fantastic communications and marketing folks can get a quick picture. Here we go. The Crystal Chase Award is given to that freshman who combines a serious commitment to academics with enthusiastic involvement in all aspects of school life. It is awarded in the memory of Crystal Chase, class of 1899. The 2022 recipient of the Crystal Chase Award is Jonah Jenkins. See if he remembers. Yes. The Warren E. Tamaris Award is presented annually to the freshmen who, through their character, scholarship, and dedication, best exemplifies the educational philosophy of Mr. Tamaris, to do your best. The 2022 recipient of the Warren E. Tamaris Award is Ben Stelmach. His friends are laughing, so I'm guessing we will have to send Ben's award in the mail. Gotcha. Oh, fair enough. The Kents Hill Award for Academic Achievement is given to 4 freshman students for educational commitment, growth, or improvement. I'm going to read all 4 names in order, and then you can respond with your wild, sustained applause. The freshman recipients of this award are Will Precourt, Trevor Buck, Ashley Charles, and Avery Ross. Congratulations. We had 3 out of 4. That's not bad. One of the things I like most about being at Kents Hill School is getting to work with kids and adults from so many backgrounds. In an average year, Kents Hill admits between 80 and 100 new students, and those students come from all over the world. In fact, as many of you know, we set a Kents Hill record this year by counting students from, I think, 27 countries among our student body, which is kind of amazing, especially given the disruptions of the last few years. But we also welcome at least a few new teachers every year, and in my view, this too is part of the special sauce. It's part of the unique culture of teaching and learning that makes Kents Hill a good school. New faculty members make our academic and other programs stronger by bringing and sharing creative energy and fresh ideas, helping the rest of us see how Kents Hill can continue to evolve to meet the needs of our students in a rapidly changing world. Today's faculty speaker is not a new teacher per se, but she was new to Kents Hill this year. I've asked her to speak for a few minutes about what she noticed as someone who had ample experience in education coming in, but who spent the year participating in Life on the Hill for the first time. Please give your undivided attention to Ms. Martha Fortier.
Thank you. You may or may not know me well. Some of you have been in my classroom for 9 months, and some of you might be noticing me for the first time. But we share something in common. We try new stuff. We take risks. I mean, each of you decided to attend a school either away from home or a school that's not typical for your town, right? And probably away for some lifelong friends and maybe away from family. You took a leap into the unknown to carve a new path to be at Kents Hill. So wherever you're from, near or far, at one point each of you chose to walk into a whole new campus for the first time, plopping yourself into a new environment, forced to transition. My story is similar. Last year around this time, I left a school where I had worked for 16 years. My daughters had attended. A school in which I was known really well, like I wouldn't have needed to be introduced at an assembly. A school in which I didn't have to prove anything or really learn anything new. I was completely dialed in. But I was also a little unhappy and pretty stagnant and stuck. So like you, I looked for my 2.0 adventure and leapt into Kents Hill. So imagine being this point in my career and walking into the Commons last August 15th for my very first faculty meeting on my very first day and wondering, perhaps maybe like you did on your first day on campus, who are these people? Where should I sit? Did I leave my old school? Would I fit in? I only knew about 2 faces out of 70, and it was scary and it was uncomfortable, even at my age. I missed the familiarity and ease of my regular lunch buddies and knowing each face. And day after day, I continued to be challenged to learn new things. But long story short, we all made it, right? You learned which teachers let you eat a breakfast sandwich in class. Might be a small number, but how late you can set your alarm and still make it to stats on time. How much laundry detergent to use, and perhaps even discovered a new part of yourself, maybe a new talent. And I learned not to step on the seal in Bierce, which soups I liked the most, how to drive a van full of kids, which of the thousands of keys, I'm not kidding, that I was given on the first day actually opens the Elfond. It's exciting. And how I could be a better teacher. So all of us succeeded, but I think we did because we were embraced by this kind and supportive community. And then kind of magically one day we became the community and we became the ones who then welcomed others. I witnessed this transformation again and again as new students adapted to the culture on the Hill, where students thank teachers at the end of classes, which is still awesome. And during duty, teachers and students have real conversations about life. And as a community, we strive to respect and appreciate everyone on campus who works here and act like a team. Like, I just finished dish duty, which I loved. So we all help sage, wash, and put away dishes and pans. We help maintenance move chairs. We help admissions give tours. So maybe you can relate to what happened to me as a result of this school vibe. I kind of became a better version of myself. I found I liked being part of a team that asked me to be my best self. So congrats to all of us for pushing ourselves and getting out of our comfort zones. Look at us, well done, well done, yay. While I know I grew a lot this year from choosing to try something new, I'd be lying if I said it was easy and sunshine and roses. It was not. Growing and learning for me, and maybe you too, meant some tough days, some poor decision-making, some frustration, and then just a lot of exhaustion, but that might be me at my age, you know. That all said, I wouldn't trade this year for anything because I learned a ton about myself, and I grew as a person and as a teacher, and I met new people and learned about another part of Maine and about countries around the globe and about this thing called boarding schools. The list is endless. I wasn't standing still this year. I was energized. I wonder how many of you would say you felt that way, right, maybe at the end of your first year? How much did you learn and grow? So now that we're all pretty comfortable in this fabulous community, whether it's our first year or our third year, we have the privilege, check out that word, the privilege of asking, what's my next adventure? What's my next leap out of my comfort zone? If this year has taught me anything, it's the value of looking for, or at least being open to the next opportunity, check out that word, the opportunity to be uncomfortable. Maybe for you, it's adding a contrary comment during a discussion, which anybody in my class knows I love, or playing a new sport or a new position, or sitting at a different lunch table, or meeting with a teacher about your not-so-great test grade, or, let's say, writing an identity essay or a poem for the first time. And aren't we lucky? We get to continue to make the choice to grow because this community allows us to take leaps with the support of promise and even a big net, I think, if we stumble. So next year, I'm game to seek new adventures and potential discomfort, and I hope you are too. So until then, I'm grateful to all of you for your kind words and support and advice and humor and patience as I close out year one of my 2.0. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fortier. And now for the Sophomore Awards. The Glen Dana Award was established by the class of 1974 in memory of their classmate, Glen Alexander Dana. It is awarded to a student who demonstrates academic and athletic promise, respect for others, and a zest for life. The 2022 recipient is Sarah Maud Richard. The Stuart Payne Robinson Award is given to the student who accepts the moral and intellectual challenges of life without fear and gives of self whenever called. The 2022 recipient of the Stuart Payne Robinson Award is Tanner Cole. We also give the Kensel Award for Academic Achievement to 4 sophomore students for their educational commitment, growth, or improvement. Again, I'll read all 4 names, and then you can make some noise. The 4 sophomore recipients are Gabrielle Lewis, Eli Reynolds, Anna Rode, and Lily James. Congratulations. Kensel School also honors several distinguished scholars every year. Each Distinguished Scholar Award is given to the student from his or her class who has the highest grade point average. So we're talking about a very small and impressive group here. There's 1 student from each class. Again, I'll read all of the names at once and you can respond with your applause. Our 2022 Distinguished Scholars are from the freshman class, Sarp Yuxel, from the sophomore class, Morgan Townley, and from the junior class, Kyla Danielson. Come on up. Our final set of awards is devoted to this year's juniors, and it culminates in the 4 Distinguished College Book Awards. Before we hand them out, I want to acknowledge an important fact. Junior year is hard. Educators often describe it as the most challenging year academically, and they do that for good reason. Junior year is when many students take their first AP and dual enrollment classes. It's when they complete hours-long standardized tests, sometimes multiple times. And it's when they begin dipping their toes in the college search process, all while participating in athletics and trying to maintain social lives. Unsurprisingly, junior year is when many of us faced our first significant challenges, disappointments, and setbacks. That was certainly true for me. But as this year's student speaker reminds us, these experiences, as difficult as they are, can also be catalysts for intellectual and personal growth, teaching us something about our strengths and limitations and alerting us to new passions and possibilities. Here to discuss her junior year journey is Phoebe Simpson.
For as long as I can remember, failure has been every situation's worst possible outcome. I've always held myself to the highest possible standards. Not because anybody was telling me to, but because I thought that's what would bring me success. Throughout my freshman and sophomore years at Kents Hill, I held myself to this mindset. Crying and stressing over any grade below a 90, I thought that without perfect grades and a plethora of extracurriculars, I would never be able to succeed after high school. I was under the impression that perfection now would set me up for the rest of my life. This belief was strengthened as I was told over and over again how important it was to have a successful junior year. Unsurprisingly, I set high goals for myself going into the 2021 to 2022 school year. I signed up for numerous clubs and leadership positions and enrolled in the hardest possible courses. And I planned to succeed in all of these classes. I was ready to work. But within the first week of classes, I quickly realized that my courses were going to be much harder than I thought I could handle. I was committed to academic rigor and felt that I needed to see it through. So I persisted through the first month. Even as I struggled to complete and understand the material, it got to a point where between classes and extracurriculars, I started having emotional breakdowns. This is when my advisor suggested that I drop a few of the more difficult courses and give myself some breathing room. Deep down, I knew that this needed to happen, but it didn't change the fact that I felt disappointed in myself for abandoning some goals that I had set for myself. I reluctantly agreed to change my schedule, but even as I settled into my new classes, I came to realize that they were much harder than I expected. As the year progressed, I noticed that I wasn't able to keep my grades where I wanted them. But even with this in mind, I couldn't manage to pull my grades up. As this reality set in, I slowly realized that falling short didn't bother me as much as it would have in the past. I realized that I was actually enjoying my courses and enjoying the material I was learning. For the first time in my academic career, I wasn't just focusing on the numbers posted on the portal. Looking back at this year, I've begun to accept that the high standards I held myself to in the past sometimes did more harm than good. I've begun to realize that earning a B isn't automatically going to lead me to a life on the streets. Yes, it's good to push myself, but if I fall short, I don't have to beat myself up about it. I can just enjoy my learning and try even harder next time. After releasing myself from some of the academic pressure, I'd been able to accept and embrace the things in my life that I enjoy and that make me happy. I've begun to commit more time and effort into my hobbies, especially making art. In fact, without that need for academic perfection, I've started to think about art as a possible career, instead of something that I just do in my free time. Without the academic stress I put on myself, I've been able to sign up for and put my time into activities that I enjoy. And this has allowed me to start to think more clearly about what I'm going to do after my time on the Hill. So I guess my message is to all of you, We shouldn't measure our success by our grades or the amount of praise we receive. True success is about feeling challenged and fulfilled by what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Phoebe. That was great. And now on to the junior awards. The Rensselaer Medal is given by Kensill's Math and Science departments and is awarded to a junior with an outstanding record in math and science. This year's winner of the Rensselaer Medal is Kyla Danielson. The Bausch and Lomb Honorary Science Award is presented to the junior who has demonstrated excellence in science. The winner of the 2022 Bausch and Lomb Award is Austin Wise. The Eric Nessler Ploty Award is awarded to a junior in memory of Eric Ploty, class of 1989, who became a leader of this school community through his own determination, perseverance, and goodwill. It gives me great pleasure to give the Eric Nessler Ploty Award to Aiden Beatty. The Jenny Flood Krieger Award was established in 1937 by Jenny Flood Krieger. It nominates a junior who is outstanding in character and scholarship. The 2022 recipient of the Jenny Flood Krieger Award is Clara Eve Landry. The William W. Dunn Award is awarded in memory of William W. Dunn, headmaster of Kenshill School from 1942 to 1965, whose lifelong interest was to develop in every student the desire to achieve his or her individual potential and to serve the community. The 2022 recipient of the William W. Dunn Award is Sage Michaud. The International Student Award is given to an international student in the senior or junior class who is a respected leader in the school and who has made significant academic and social contributions to the school community. We're giving 2 International Student Awards this year. One of them is going to be a senior who we'll announce at graduation, and the other goes to George Papadopoulos. Traditionally, the Cameron Dow Class of 2012 scholarship was awarded to a male boarding student rising into the 12th grade who, like Cameron, was quietly altruistic, a loyal and respected friend, had compassion for all living things, and possessed an innate wisdom and courage beyond his years. This year, the Kenshill faculty made 2 changes to this award. We decided to give the scholarship to 2 students, and we decided to disentangle it from its original single-gender designation. This year's recipients, plural, of the Cameron Dow Class of 2012 scholarship are Holden Hall and Naomi McGadney. The Phi Beta Kappa Award is awarded to a junior who is striving to go on to higher education and who has demonstrated intellectual curiosity and achievement beyond the classroom. The 2022 winner of the Phi Beta Kappa Award is Cordell Pern. And now for the College Book Awards. The Smith College Book Award is awarded to the young woman in the junior class who exemplifies academic achievement, leadership, and a concern for others. The 2022 winner of the Smith College Book Award is Naomi McGadney. The Williams Book Award is given to a junior who has demonstrated intellectual leadership and has made a significant contribution to the extracurricular life of the school. The 2022 winner of the Williams Book Award is Phoebe Simpson. The Dartmouth College Award is awarded to the member of the junior class of outstanding personal character, intellectual promise, and exemplary citizenship. The 2022 recipient of the Dartmouth College Award is Rose Jenkins. And finally, the Yale Book Award is awarded to a member of the junior class of outstanding personal character and intellectual promise. The 2022 recipient of the Yale Book Award is Alex Cephas. We read a lot of names. Can we give one final round of applause to all of today's winners? In closing, I'll just say again that this was a good year thanks to you. I'm going to ask all of our award winners to hang around for a few minutes so that we can get a group photo, and the rest of you can go. Have a fantastic summer.